Gunna pled guilty free after agreeing to testify in YSL case. I don't know. I seen Gunna. No, I seen a clip of him in court saying yes ma'am, and shit like that. But I don't know what the black and white looking like. And I also seen that if I think YSL, if they take it to trial, then he has to get up on the stand. I'm not gonna lie, if you gotta do that, it's over for him.
Man, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of EOS. It's 1090 Jake, man. I'm rocking with y'all. Y'all rocking with me. And for this video, we're gonna be speaking on the YSL case. Gunna being released from jail on special conditions, including testifying if asked to. December 14th, 2022.
I really don't believe he read it, because I think Gunna's whole image and him being a rapper, bro, no matter what his morals stand on, it's like, bro, his career is going to be done for real. If he rats, because it's like, you feel me? See what happened to the last motherfucker that testified? His shit down the drain. And I think Gunna rather do 5-10 years, not 10 years, he would probably do 5 years, because he wasn't even like on no crazy shit. So I don't think he would sacrifice his career for 5 years in jail.
Was broke in the YSL RICO case, as none other than Atlanta rapper Sergio Kitchens, aka Gunna, was released from custody. After repeatedly being denied bond and expected to remain in jail until trial in 2023, Gunna has officially pled guilty to one count of violating Georgia's RICO Act. The charge itself carries up to 20 years in Georgia's state prison system, but Gunna has seemingly done the impossible. As he walked out of jail, greeted by family and
and they said that they gave him 5 years, 4 years served, and then the 6 months he was locked up, they gave him a year off of that. I'm like, damn, they cut him deals. What the fuck? Yeah, this was Gunna's biggest year. He sold the most with DS4. That's crazy.
Friends, court documents would emerge online detailing Gunna's punishment in Atlanta's most infamous rap indictment. A negotiated Alford plea would mean under Georgia law, Gunna was pleading guilty while maintaining his innocence. In other words, Gunna hasn't admitted to anything, but according to the plea, finds it in his best interest to accept a guilty finding. As a result, Gunna was sentenced to 5 years, with the 1 year he spent in jail counting his time served. The remaining 4 years, which would normally be served in prison, has surprisingly been suspended with special conditions. Gunna has agreed that if he is called on by any party within the case, he will testify truthfully and reserve his right to assert his Fifth Amendment privilege.
And it's like, I understand that's crazy, but like, people get up on that stand, don't gotta tell the truth. You feel me? It's hey, you get caught, you're still doing time, but it's like, some people testify and don't tell the truth. I don't know.
Against self-incrimination. This means Gunna will have to testify if asked to, but he may plead the fifth to avoid incriminating himself. Gunna also agrees to perform 500 hours of community service with the completion of at least
500 hours is crazy.
350 hours. A substantial portion will require Gunna speaks to young men and women about the hazards and immorality of gangs and gang violence and the decay that it causes in the community. The final special conditions are Gunna shall not possess guns or commit any criminal acts. It has been agreed by the courts upon completion of his community service, the remainder of Gunna's 4-year sentence will be terminated by the courts, meaning once Gunna's done preaching to the youth, he's free to go. But if he doesn't abide by these special conditions, including testifying if asked to, Gunna will be sent to prison to serve the remainder of his sentence. Now these conditions resemble T.I.'s infamous federal case in which he was found in possession of weapons and silencers, but barely received any prison time, leading to speculation of him snitching. T.I. promoting Crime Stoppers was part of his community service and only worsened the rumors. And recently, T.I. came out admitting to placing blame on his dead cousin to beat a separate weapons case before his federal case.
Like, what the hell?
It just so happens Gunna's lawyer, Steve Sato, is the same lawyer who represented T.I. in his federal case.
Damn, what the hell?
With immediate rumors of snitching following Gunna's release, Gunna issued a statement to the press. When I became affiliated with YSL in 2016, I did not consider it a gang, more like a group of people from Metro Atlanta who had common interests and artistic aspirations. My focus of YSL was entertainment, rap artists who wrote and performed music that exaggerated and glorified urban life in the black community. While I have agreed to always be truthful, I want to make it perfectly clear that I have not made any statements, have not been interviewed, have not cooperated, have not agreed to testify or be a witness for or against any party in the case, and have absolutely no intention of being involved in the trial process in any way. I have chosen to end my own RICO case with an Alfred plea and end my personal ordeal by publicly acknowledging my association with YSL. An Alfred plea in my case is the entry of a guilty plea to the one charge against me, which is in my best interest, while at the same time maintaining my innocence towards the same charge. I love and cherish my association with YSL Music and always will. I look at this as an opportunity to give back to my community and educate young men and women that gangs and violence only leads to destruction. Now, the only contradiction to Gunna's press statement is him not agreeing to testify. It clearly states in Gunna's special conditions for release that if he is called by any party in this case, he will testify truthfully. While that doesn't mean he will be called, it leaves the possibility, but at the same time, that doesn't mean Gunna is a snitch or will have to snitch. If Gunna is called to testify and refuses, he faces the remainder of his 4-year sentence in prison, which means Gunna will have to do time, but he'll do it with dignity, knowing nothing he did affected anyone else.
Okay, so it's like he still has a choice for real. Like, he basically entered the plea deal, know what he could be facing, and it's just like there's like hella people copping out already, like copping pleas and everything. I think it's still a whole bunch of people, because there's like 30 people in the YSL case already. But there was like hella snitches. I heard there was a couple snitches already. And then a lot of people copping pleas already. So it's like, YSL might not even have to go to trial. You feel what I'm saying? So if everybody cops pleas, then they good. Then Gunna's good.
Otherwise,
and even if he does get caught, he can just say, hey, just give me the 4 years. I ain't snitching on nobody.
It seems
but that video still is wild.
The only person he called to testify on is Young Thug himself.
Talking about yes, ma'am.
Aside from being mentioned in music videos, Gunna's only involvement within the YSL indictment stems from 2 incidents. In 2017, Gunna and Thug were found in possession of a stolen gun and drugs after a traffic stop. And in 2018, they received a speeding ticket, while the car behind them had 4 individuals inside armed with multiple weapons, including an AK-47. A video sent to me by Seti Nash would show a courtroom as someone in the stands recorded Gunna answering the prosecutor's questions and admitting to entirely too much. Not only did Gunna confirm YSL is a gang, he confirmed he has personal knowledge of members of YSL having committed crimes in furtherance of the gang, which in itself is grounds for a RICO indictment.
Please state after each statement whether or not you agree or acknowledge that statements are true, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, nah, I didn't even see him. I seen a little clip on Instagram and saying yes, ma'am, twice.
Or acknowledge that statements are true, okay?
Nah, they got him right here.
Yes, ma'am.
I became affiliated with YSL around 2016. Is that true as it pertains to you, Mr. Kitchens?
Yes, ma'am.
YSL is a music label and a gang, and you have personal knowledge that members or associates of YSL have committed crimes in furtherance of the gang.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, nah, bro. That's crazy. Bro. And it's like, because people cop pleas all the time. So it's like, when you cop a plea, you basically admit that, you feel me, I did this, I did that. And you feel me, like trying to admit to your mistakes so you get less time or it's a better deal for you in the long run. When you do something like this, this has effects on everybody else in your case. You admitting they're a gang or whatever you... Like, what the fuck? You admitting they're a gang and saying they're a criminal organization. That has effect on Young Thug, on Yak Gotti, on everybody else in that YSL case that hasn't caught pleas yet. That makes it worse for them, right? I don't know. I'm not too knowledgeable on the criminal shit, the court shit. But that seems like Gunna's putting like everybody else in a worse predicament because he's admitting this shit. What the fuck?
Gunna admitted when drugs and a gun were found after him and Young Thug were pulled over that the items didn't belong to him, leaving only Young Thug as the person they belong to. Lastly, Gunna admitted to making a statement where he regrets making music that indirectly furthered the YSL gang and that YSL must end.
You were present when...
Whoa. I wasn't even listening to the last part. What the wait, hold on.
Didn't belong to him, leaving only Young Thug as the person they belong to. Lastly, Gunna admitted to making a statement where he regrets making music that indirectly furthered the YSL gang and that YSL must end.
You were present when law enforcement officers stopped the vehicle in which you were present along with Jeffrey Williams, wherein hydrocodone, methamphetamines, and a firearm were recovered. These items did not belong to you.
Yes, ma'am.
Damn, that's dry snitching, right? Is that not dry snitching? Wasn't that the whole Keem and Blockworth situation? Like, what the fuck? This motherfucker said, you and Young Thug was in a vehicle, and the drugs and money and fucking guns wasn't yours. No, ma'am, they weren't. Motherfucker, whose else were they? Yo, this shit crazy, bro. And motherfuckers want to pick and choose their politics. They don't know what snitching is. Oh, you got to get up on that. You tell you, bro, when you cop pleas, you're supposed to admit to your own wrongdoing. You're not supposed to admit to other people's shit, dry snitch on everybody else. What the fuck?
Methamphetamines and a firearm were recovered. These items did not belong to you.
Yes, ma'am.
And do you acknowledge the following?
It just don't make sense to me, bro, because he wasn't facing no crazy time, so he didn't even need to do this. And he knew, like, what the backlash was going to come with this shit. Everybody's going to look into your paperwork. Everybody's going to look at these videos to make sure you... I'm ratting. I'm not ratting. I'm going to take my time because I made them decisions to be around who I hanged around. I'm a grown-ass man. I got morals. The fuck? I'm going to take the time. If I do the crime, I'm going to do the time. The fuck?
Yes,
I ain't copping no pleas to make sure I'm not copping. And me, if I have a co-defendant that I allegedly did a crime with, I'm not taking a plea deal that gives me a better deal so he can sit for a longer time. What the fuck? If we did the same shit, we both sitting there. I hope he's not snitching on me, but regardless if he does or not, I'm gonna face the consequences of my actions, bro. I'm a grown ass man. I got morals. Yeah, exactly. I'm not even gonna put myself in that position to have co-defendants and other people to rely on. You feel me? I'm just saying, bro.
Acknowledge the following statement. I recognize, accept, and deeply regret that my talent and music indirectly furthered YSL the gang to the detriment of my community. YSL as a gang must end. Is that your statement or acknowledgement?
Yes.
So we now know that if Gunna is called to testify, it would not only be against Young Thug, but against the other members he admitted to knowing committed crimes. While he does reserve the right to invoke his Fifth Amendment, his Fifth Amendment is meant to protect him from self-incrimination and him only.
Yeah, bro.
While many say
it is crazy, bro. This whole situation is crazy. Like,
he will use this.
They putting Young Thug in a very tough situation. I'm not gonna lie. They trying to hit him with a kingpin, and he did this and did that
To avoid snitching.
Bro, it's just like, again, bro, the whole internet is trying to figure out what is snitching and what isn't. For me personally, in this situation, I think he did snitch because he admitted that YSL is a gang, and that directly impacts everybody else on his case and puts them in worse positions. I think that's snitching. If you get in that interrogation room and tell any details about like JD had a situation where he was in an interrogation room and he told the cops a lot. I'm not gonna lie, but it was mostly like indirectly talking about him, and people weren't calling that snitching. And you for me see where JD is taking 5 years, but snitching can go a long ways in court and in the system. You got testifying, going up on the stand, you got the interrogation room, you got different ways to do it. But I think when you copping a plea and you're not meant to, like, because what they doing is basically trying to say, hey, we'll get you out, but you got to put everybody else in worse positions in this case. That's all I'm saying, bro. Like, Nah, this is snitching, bro. I'm not gonna lie. But what do I
His
know?
Fifth Amendment is meant to protect
saying, me
him
personally,
from self-incrimination
he look like
and
a
him
snitcher.
only. While many say he will use this to avoid snitching,
But hey, there's no black and white to snitching or not snitching. Everybody's gonna think what they think. You know what I mean? It's not universal what is snitching.
also wonder why he didn't use it.
Yeah, didn't they have like what with the YSL label
To
whatever? Like when they were trying to get Thug out and Gunna out, they had like the whole label owner come up there and say like, yeah, YSL is a music organization. You just hoping the case. Like they don't even gotta go that route of explaining what YSL is. They just, hey, this dude Gunna, he makes music for the label and he also said it was a gang. Like,
avoid answering those same questions.
bro. He just helped
At this time, Gunna is free
He helped them out.
and has yet to speak on the video that's emerged. Now,
I don't know, bro, because I already seen like Boosie calling him out and other people calling him out. Bro.
but after seeing that video of him inside a court, I don't know if there's too much else to say. You admitted YSL is a gang, which is gonna negatively impact everybody.
Thank you. Okay, I'm not
You have
crazy.
knowledge of other YSL members committing crimes, which is insane. There's no
insane.
politics that's gonna stand behind somebody and say, yeah, I have knowledge that members of that gang committed crimes. And then not only that, you admitted that when you and Young Thug were pulled over and drugs and a gun were found inside of the
They
car,
weren't yours. Like,
it wasn't yours. If you get pulled over with somebody, they find something that's not supposed to be in there and they say, whose is this? Nobody's supposed to say anything. Because if you
Thank you, bro. You're not supposed to say anything when you get in that interrogation room or you talk to any cop's lawyer. That's like everybody, bro. If you want to cop a plea, you basically admit for yourself that you did these crimes and you taking a plea deal that helps you so you know how much time you're getting instead of taking it to trial not knowing when you're going to get it.
say, oh, that's not mine, now they're looking at the other person. And guess who the other person is? Young Thug. That's who they want it to be.
Yes,
they want
bro.
it to be.
They're trying to give Young Thug 40 years. They're trying to give that man a crazy amount.
So they have
Football
more
numbers.
ammunition to put away the biggest.
I want to see what Thug says about this shit. 'Cause I know Thug went to court. I've seen pictures of him. I don't know what happened in court. I could see if to cop out, but he, yeah.
Member of YSL. So for him to admit that is crazy, and it changed my whole perspective on why he got released. Because initially, I thought it was a chess move.
Yeah.
I assumed that his lawyer,
Oh
Gunna's
God.
lawyer,
Yeah.
told Gunna, look, we're gonna do this here. You're gonna say that you'll be willing to testify if you're called in to testify. You're gonna be given community service, and what's gonna happen is when trial comes in a year, if they call you to come in and testify, you say, fuck you, I'm not testifying.
Right.
And guess what? The remainder of your sentence, which is, you know,
4
he was
years.
given 5 years.
Like he didn't even have to serve the full first year either. He got 6 months. He did 6-7 months. When they get picked up, like June, April, May, something like that. Like they didn't even do a full year, and he got a year off. He got 4 years to do, bro.
year was taken off because he already
He's
served
straight.
it in jail. He only has 4. If another year
And
comes,
it's like, bro, if he wasn't in court saying that shit, I wouldn't say he's snitch. I'm like, okay, he's cool. Like he didn't, like I feel like he said way too much. He answered too many questions. I feel like if he would just said, I plead guilty to this charge, and I'll take the 5 years for suspended, do 500 hours of community service, and then in a year, if people go to trial and I have to testify, I won't testify. Like he just said, I understand what he's saying. And then that would be a chess move if he didn't go in the courtroom and say that
you're
shit.
going to be given community service. And what's going to happen is when trial comes in a year, if they call you to come in and testify, you say, fuck you, I'm not testifying.
Damn. Yeah, I was thinking about that too. Like Thug basically said, hey, Gunna, you selling the most in your career. You got a lot of potential. Hey, just give me all this shit, and I'll do my best. Just get out of jail. But it's even like Gunna's in this shit for 4 years. He has 5 years. He would probably got a max of 5 years. That's what I was thinking. Even less. And good behavior, get out in 3.5. And then I'm like, bro, Thug's the one that needs the most help. Like he needs people to cop out and take these charges so he can get the least amount of time. So I don't even know. I don't know. Maybe Thug said that, but even then, that's still like That's even if Thug did say that, there's still other co-defendants on this case that probably didn't have no knowledge of Gunna doing that are in the worst position. Like, yeah, Gotti and all them.
Testifying. And guess what? The remainder of your sentence, which is, you know, he was given 5 years. 1 year was taken off because he already served it in jail. He only has 4. If another year comes before trial, he only has 3 left. He would only have to serve 3 years inside of prison. Didn't snitch on nobody. Didn't impact anybody's case in a negative way. Does his 3 years, comes out a real one, and gets back to the music. But now that I saw what he admitted to in the courtroom.
Facts.
It's like I don't even know how anybody could still stand behind that. They say
27 people left. What was it, 28 people on the case? Because I know they had like 3 or 4 snitches. And they had like already a hell of people that copped out.
He was alleged to have an affiliation to the Crips.
But that's still a lot of people regardless that still haven't copped the plea. Like 10 plus probably.
I guarantee you that won't stand anymore. How anybody could still stand behind that? They say he was alleged to have an affiliation to the Crips. I guarantee you that won't stand anymore. How the fuck is any Crip gonna get behind you and be like, yeah, that's the low, when you just said, yeah, I got knowledge of them gang members committing crimes and further into the gang?
Like what?
What? That's crazy. So even if he hasn't full blown told.
Oh yeah, I seen that. It was like the creator of YSL copped out.
Testified. Just that video alone, in my opinion, is saying entirely too much. And me thinking that the only thing he could tell on was of him and Young Thug, since that's all he was brought up in within the indictment, but he's saying he knows things about other gang members committing crimes. That's exactly what they're gonna want to bring him in to testify for. But we'll just have to wait and see how this plays out. It's 1090 Jake. I'm rocking with y'all, y'all rocking with me. Till next time.
Yeah, stand on business. Whatever you did, do the crime, you do the time. Yeah, bro, the pleading the fifth shit, yeah. That shit crazy, bro. Not gonna lie. Free Thug, man. He going through a lot. He going through a lot. Me personally, bro talking too much. He a rap, bro. But it's just like, does the industry think that? The industry. And bro, did Gunna already have the Crime Stoppers video out? I don't know. I don't think the Crime Stoppers video is anything crazy, but it's just crazy that he put himself in this predicament again. And I don't think he needed to. Him saying yes, ma'am is crazy, bro.